Hello friends, my name is Claire and I'm going to be doing an earthy modern home in The Sims 4 for this week's video. So this isn't like a crazy pack build, but I do use some kind of random pack, specifically Eco Lifestyle, Island Living, and the Perfect Patio pack. So we are just going to be starting off in this little entryway area. I wanted it to be kind of a tiny home, but not have the restrictions of a tiny home. It probably see on the upper level that there's a large deck, and that deck does kind of wrap around onto this first level of the house. And I knew it wouldn't be 100 tiles, so I was just like, you know what, just don't worry about having it be a tiny house. So we are just starting in the entryway still, and I saw this idea on Instagram, I'm pretty sure, and it wasn't actually a Sims build, but it was having these like mirrors kind of make the room feel bigger. And this house is kind of inspired off of another house I saw on a HGTV show, and they had this kind of like a cabinet mudroom area. And so I decided to do the same for my build, and I really do like watching shows that give me inspiration like this. So hopefully you'll see some more kind of like out there or out of the ordinary builds. So it's kind of help me grow with designing and building. So we are just going to be in the kitchen now. It is a pretty decent sized kitchen for this house. It's only 2 bedrooms, so it's like there's not going to be like a huge buffet. Although I was mentioning that The Sims would do a lot of like house parties here. I do put in 2 like large tables in this house, and so if your Sims want to have a large house party or your Sims know a lot of Sims, then they can have their parties here. And so we are just going to be adding some shelving above the counters. I try to keep it pretty simple. Like I said earlier, it's only like 3 Sims that would be actually living here, and so I'm like upper shelving maybe wouldn't be necessary. There's like enough storage probably for all the lowers I have, and so we're just changing the color of the couch to be green to kind of bring in more of that earthiness. And so we are just going to be adding some decorations. I did want your Sims to be able to cook together, and so that's why I just kind of kept all of the decorations on one cabinet. And now we're kind of back in the front of the house, going to be adding a dining room table. I wanted to use this one from the Island Living pack. It just wasn't really fitting, so I do end up going with this one from the Eco Lifestyle pack, but I do use the Island Living chairs, and so we are just going to be adding a rug, just kind of anchor this table into space, just kind of like give it a zone. It is open concept, but I feel like it needed like a little bit of like dining zone, living room zone, kitchen zone. And so we are just going to be adding some lights and going to be adding this little cabinet. That cabinet does go underneath the TV. I just couldn't like find a spot right away, and so we're just going to be adding a like range vent thing above the oven because safety. And I do also have a fire alarm. That's something I do try to add in every build. I don't really have many pictures on this first level. I didn't want to have a lot of windows because when I think of modern houses, I do think of like kind of like fish boxes or fish like bowl houses, and so that's why there's not many pictures, is because of the windows. So we are just now in the first level bathroom. Like I said earlier, I was imagining that your Sims here would have a lot of house parties, and so for the convenience of your Sims guests, there is a bathroom on this first level. And so we're just going outside now to the backyard. First, we're going to be starting off in this little grill area. I wanted to put it right here under the window because it just made sense to have the kitchen and like the outdoor kitchen is kind of like right next to each other. I feel like that'd be easy like prep space for like being realistic. And now we're just gonna be adding a little like patio hangout area. I wanted to keep like the doorway area pretty open and clean, but I wanted like this area of the couches to be more of a hangout area. And I did like just blend these two couches together, so that's why I'm adding these pillows to kind of hide the seam of the pillows. And so we are just going to be adding a dining room table and changing the color of the barbecue to match the counters. And I am using these outdoor things are mostly from the Perfect Patio pack. It's a stuff pack, so it's on the cheaper end if you are interested in buying it. Not sponsored, just thought I would let you know. So we are just going to be adding a rug in here, kind of like in an indoor dining room, just to kind of help anchor this space. And now we're kind of like getting into the backyard area. So I do add a hot tub out here because I didn't really know like if I should have like items for kids out here. It's a pretty small backyard, and so I wanted to keep it pretty simple. I did keep the second bedroom, or like the guest bedroom, kind of simple so it'd be easy for you to redesign for whoever you want in this space. And now we are just going to be adding some planter boxes. And I wasn't sure if I wanted a fence in this backyard, so I went with the vertical planter boxes from the Eco Lifestyle pack just to give it some more height and privacy. But I do go back after recording the video to add a fence around the perimeter, so like the hedges are on the outside and then the fence is on the inside, and I think it looks kind of nice. I feel like it does help with that modern aesthetic we're going for here. And now we are just going to be adding some more chairs. I just have a lot of like lounging areas out here, and now we are in a greenhouse area. This area is really flexible to whatever you want, and I was first thinking like this would be like a great like sunroom plant growing area, but I do change it to be more like an office area, workspace, hobby room, and I feel like that kind of made more sense, like kind of give the room a little bit more of a purpose. And so we are just going to be adding just a little decor on the counter in the living room and going to be just kind of like figuring out what this like sunroom area wants to be. And I feel like it made pretty good sense just to have it as an office, very functional space. There, I do keep that chair. I do change a chair, but I do keep a chair in that location for convenience, just to kind of hang out. And your Sims are probably going to eat all their meals on that chair because that's how Sims work. They don't really like eating where you tell them to eat. So we are just going to be adding a computer. I am using items from the high school years pack, so sorry, there's another pack I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video. But I mostly am going to be keeping the high school years pack in the second bedroom, and I don't really use that pack too much in this build, so those items will get replaced if you don't have that pack. And so we are just going to be adding a pillow on the little chair and going to be finishing up this first floor of the house. It's going to kind of span the first floor. Make sure I got everything decorated. There's no like empty walls, and now we are on the second level. So I was trying to first start off with this like landing area spot just to make it feel like not empty, and I was kind of afraid I was gonna forget, but I'm like, you know what, I can't really think, I don't really have like any ideas for this area. So we're going to go into the guest bedroom first, which is kind of towards the front of the house, and I do double this window from the first level just to kind of make it more cohesive, and I just kind of like the long skinniness of it, and so we are going to be adding a little simple dresser. This is a dresser that came in like a base game update, and I think it's my favorite dresser in the game because it's just like really clean and very like tight. Like it's easy to fit into spaces, and so I do add a desk into this room because I was thinking that this could be a kid or teen's room, and so I wanted to have a workspace for them, but like I said earlier, they're probably always going to be doing their homework or eating in the most randomest places. So we are just going to be adding a laundry basket, but that does get switched out for one from the high school years pack. And so we are just going to be adding some curtains and going to be adding a side table. I was really trying to keep this room simple, and that was kind of hard for me because I'm like, I need to have this room with a theme. Like, I need it to be like a sporty theme, or I need it to be a gamer theme, or a girly girl theme, makeup. So we are just going to adding a rug under the bed, and I really wanted this room to feel like it's straight from a magazine or a model home, very translucent of who could live here, be in this room. So we are just going to be adding a picture above the bed, just keeping it really simple in here, and I kind of like how calming this room feels. So we are just going to be adding some items on the side table and going to be trying to find the lunchbox and backpack. Ever since the backpack became an actual storage item, I don't know why I've been having so much trouble trying to find it, and that is an update that happened like months ago, and like I'm still like can't like switch my mindset like, okay, I need to find the backpack in a different way. So we are just going to be adding a little guitar by the desk. So there is like a skill building item in here. And now we are back in the landing hallway space. I wanted to have like a feature wall, so I just put a picture, sized it up, and again, try and keep this area pretty simple. There are a lot of pictures on this level compared to the first level. There's just more wall space. There's not too many windows. So now we are in the bathroom for the guest bedroom, and I wanted to keep this bathroom pretty similar to the other bathroom and to the kitchen, so I'm using the same kitchen counters. I do just change the color just to make it a little different, and so now we're just going to be adding all the bathroom necessities and clutter, and again, just keeping this area very simple. I do add the wallpaper from the hallway into here just to kind of make it cohesive. And now we are choosing the bed for the primary suite. I end up going with this one from the Dream Home Decorator pack, which is another pack I forgot to mention at the beginning of the video, so sorry about that. So we are just going to be adding a rug. Like the guest bedroom or the second bedroom, I was trying to keep this area pretty simple and easy to switch out if you want to. I was just trying to keep it very clean and modern since that is the style I was going for, and trying to bring in a lot of those earthy colors. And so we are just going to be adding some pictures above the bed and going to be adding a little plant corner and some plants on the side tables. I didn't want these side tables to be too matchy. I wanted to like kind of show some like personality and differences with each side of the tables, and now we are just going to be adding some pictures. This room turned out pretty simple, and I just kind of like the simplicity of this entire house, so we are just going to be in the primary bathroom now, and I do add two sinks into this bathroom just to kind of bring some differences. There are two Sims in the bedroom I was mentioning, so it made sense to have two sinks in the bathroom. So we are just going to add some items onto the sinks, and if you don't want to have two sinks, it'd be pretty easy to switch it out and maybe put like a little stand with bathroom things in it. There's one pretty nice one in the base game. So we are back in the landing space for this upper level, and just going to be adding a little bookshelf area, reading nook, pretty simple in here. And now we are on the upper level of the balcony area, so your Sims could only enter from the primary bedroom. I did have it at first for with the enter from both bedrooms, but it just didn't really work out. There needed to be more like wall space for the second bedroom, and now we are just going to be adding some art easels. Kind of made this area another like hobby space, and so we are just going to be adding some plants and going to be adding a rug in under the little lounge, tanning bed chairs, and so I do add another chair to the front of the house, and we're going to be adding a woodworking table, just and again another skill building item. So we are getting close to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and if you have any build suggestions for me, you can leave them down in the comments. I'm always up for a suggestion, and if you're over on Instagram, I'm there too, same username as my YouTube, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!